So in this segment, we're going to be talking about how Brexit has basically crippled the agriculture industry in terms of fruit picking. It's been decimated. So Brexit has caused a massive hole in the number of people coming to the UK to pick fruit in the summer months, putting growers on the brink, as it is claimed, writes Michael Drummond of the Press Association. So there was always talk about British people doing these jobs and blah blah blah. Well, where they at, dog? Because they ain't happening. And if Nigel, he was unemployed for a while. Let's not forget that he was fired by LBC. Bro, why weren't you in the field? You live in Kent. You're near some of these farms. Why weren't you in the fields picking fruit, my friend? So numbers of seasonal workers applying to work at one Kent-based company are down 90% in the last 2 years, and there are fears for the future. So some of this will be down to visas, and some of this will be down to people not feeling wanted. So a spokesperson for DEFRA said the government will always back our farmers and growers and ensure producers across the country have access to have the support and workforce that they need. Well, that's not happening, and there is kind of a theory, kind of a bit of a conspiracy, that the government will force people on universal credit to work in these fields, which is absolutely barbaric. But I don't think they'll go that far, but you never know. Never know. Mr. Taylor said 95% of all fruit and produce picked and packaged in the UK is done by Eastern Europeans. So the vast majority, only 5% are from Britain or from the rest of kind of the EU. So 95% of the people that work within this sector are from Eastern Europe, are from the EU. And these people, these farmers who voted predominantly for Brexit, right? What did you think was going to happen when, in 2019 when they pushed for the end of freedom of movement, and you thought you were going to get some special exemption for your industry? How do you feel now? I bet you feel real stupid, because that's your industry crippled, dead, essentially. From the end of June, people who haven't got pre-settled status at least can't work. We are not talking about a few tens of thousands. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people less to work in the UK in these industries, leaving a massive hole. 2 years ago, Taylor's company received 20 applications a day from people wanting to come to the UK to work picking fruit, but this year it's just 2 a day, because the cost of visas, because the cost of the NHS surcharge, and not to forget that these T5 visas mean that they can only work on one farm. They can't work, they can't move from farm to farm to work, according to the different harvests that are needed. So there's no point them coming here, essentially. They can't make any money, they can't work, and therefore they'll go to other EU countries, or maybe they'll work in different industries, because the British, kind of seasonal work is dead for the EU workers. It's done. This person saying we're right on the brink now. Winterwood Farms Limited. This is a company we cited before, saying that they are the largest growers of blueberries in Europe and Africa. I mean, I don't think Africa's well known for blueberries, so it's a very odd one to kind of flex on Africa with. Mr. Taylor referenced the UK's unemployment rate, which stood at 4.8%. Of over 16s for January to March, but said it varies by region, and issues arose where British workers did not live in reach of the farms. It's a key problem. And obviously people do ask the question that, how is it that it's easier to get in people from the EU, far away from the UK, than it is to get people to move from the UK to the UK? It's because people don't want to live kind of the way seasonal workers live in the UK, essentially. Some of these people live, in overpopulated houses and things like that, which, hopefully they won't have to do anymore, because it's just shambolic. But the simple fact is, you're not going to get many British people volunteering for these jobs, because the pay is low and the work is very hard, and that combination of things is not great. He says, if we want Brits to do that work, they need to be mobile. Well, that's not going to happen. He also criticised the politics of the debate on seasonal workers coming from the EU, something farmers, voted for. We are taking back control, as Boris would say, but when we are taking back control, we are actually deliberately throttling our own business, because we know the thing we haven't got control is labour. And the simple fact is, these farmers were sold a pipe dream. We've taken back control. We could easily put farm workers on the special visas list if we wanted to, but the government, for whatever reason, is choosing not to, and is kind of punishing these farmers by not giving them access to work as they had in the past, thinking that British workers are going to do it. Well, we're still waiting. The solution is for the government to recognise the fact that these people, they come and they go home, they don't have any recourse to public funds, saying that, they're not a drain on resources, please let them come back. But we've seen this from different industries who have voted for Brexit. The guy who, I think he was the drummer or something for the Iron Maidens, He was saying, why can't musicians get a special pass? This person saying, why can't farm workers get a special pass? Well, the simple fact is you voted for a government full of clowns, and now you're welcome to the circus. Now you're understanding the implications of having a government that had to deal with an extremely complicated process and have absolutely zero idea about what they're doing. Nick Marston, chairman of the British Summer Fruits, said the soft fruit industry is facing decreasing numbers of seasonal workers from the EU and the impossibility of recruiting a significant proportion of our large workforce from UK residents, which isn't happening. Despite Brexit and the restrictions on free movement of workers, the industry has generally been able to recruit a large enough workforce for the current fruit season. And what's going to happen next year and the year after that, And, soft fruit, maybe that's something more people in Britain are willing to do. But when it comes to those winter months, when it comes to the rain, the cold, the misery, are those workers going to turn up when it comes to picking, those sorts of fruits, turnips, carrots and whatever? He welcomed the government's decision to expand the seasonal work visa programme from 10,000 to 30,000, but evidently that's not enough. A DEFRA spokesperson said seasonal workers provide vital labour to ensure that local produce gets into supermarkets. Well, it's not getting into supermarkets because of the lorry shortage, but that's a whole separate video. But you're clearly not doing enough if farmers keep complaining about this. We will always back our farmers, blah, blah, blah. They also cited the department's review into automation, which they said will pave the way for pioneering an efficient future. Do you remember when they said the technology will deal with the Northern Ireland border situation? Everyone's like, get out. And they stopped saying it for a while because it wasn't going to work. And now you have the same thing here. Automation will deal with it. It's like, where are the robots, Chief? Where is the age of Ultron? When is Ultron going to get in the field and start picking blueberries? Because until that happens, you're not going to solve the crisis. And, we've got something from Best for Britain saying we're not talking about a few tens of thousands. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. A massive black hole, talking about the article. And we have the some analysis from, the great one herself, Dr. Anna Jo Ozeska, saying that, well, I think we're all waiting for what was promised and what was explained to me many times in replies to her tweets. Thanks to the fact that we don't have many pesky Eastern Europeans, the wages will increase and Brits will flock to these jobs. Well, let's see it, bruv. Where are they at? And, I kind of replied saying, no, Nigel should be the first one in there because he was one of the ones advocating for this. He was unemployed for a while this year. Why wasn't he in the field? And she's saying, he really should be. And me kind of tweeting back this picture of the great one, Kai Hitawara, from the series Beyblade, saying, we need you. And we do. Nigel, where you at, boy? Because, the Vote Leave Gam Dom, where you at? Surely you should be in the field as well, picking fruit. You're unemployed writing on Substack. So, yeah. Anyways, look, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.